Happy Tuesday, traders. It is Matt and Jacey with Empire Algorithmic Trading here to bring you your daily dose of VWAP Vision's Stock Talk.
It's where the volume weighted average price helps us make sense of the markets, Matt. So let's get right to it. Time for a little stock talk.
Let's go. All right, Tuesday. All that can really mean is that there's another day of beautiful action out there. So, Jace, show us what happened. What happened in the markets today? Where did we move? What happened?
It was a pretty quiet session, as one would expect with the Federal Reserve dropping news tomorrow. So the S&P
Mhm.
closed down 1/10%. Nasdaq closed down pretty much flat on the day, just down a little bit. Small caps were a little bit more active, down 0.5%, but rallied off their lows. And then mid caps were down about 0.3%. Again, rallied a little bit above the 20-day moving average, ended right back at the 10-day moving average. Bonds did trade up just a touch, but they're just kind of trading in a nice little narrow range, holding on to their breakout. So bonds are looking pretty good. And then VIX, as one would expect, the market's getting a little nervous about the news tomorrow. So the VIX shot up, which is pretty good move for such a quiet day for the major averages. So kind of tells you the market's expecting a little bit of news tomorrow with the Federal Reserve. Now, the key is going to be not what they well, I mean, unless they don't cut interest rates, then just forget about it. But they're going to cut interest rates, right? Like that's baked into the pie there. What's going to matter is where they see interest rates for at the end of the year and possibly into next year. The market has an idea of what that number is. And if the Fed is looking higher than that, then we're going to see a little bit of a correction in prices. Now, does that mean we're going to see a new like we saw back in April, a big bear type action? Probably not. It's just more going to be a reevaluation because, as we all know, stocks and equities are based off of interest rates. The valuations are, and as interest rates fluctuate, the pricing and the valuation fluctuates. So, if the market expects a certain, let's say, 3% interest rates, and the Fed comes out at 3.15% interest rate, then we're going to see a little bit decline. Now, if it's in line, then it's probably just going we might see some selling tomorrow regardless, but the overall trend is up. We're still in a green zone. We're moving the averages practically every day, the volume weighted averages, I should say, practically every day. Stocks are breaking out, buyers are in control, and it's likely going to stay like that, even if we do get a little bit of a mini correction out of this. I think we're still in a long-term trend. So I'm really excited. I'm a little nervous about some of the newer buys that we've had over the past week and a half because there's some of them are still kind of close, and I haven't been able to take initial profits to lower my risk. So, I do have some relatively exposure there, but for the most part, I've got some really nice gains built. So I'm just really kind of hoping that if it does sell off a little bit, it just prevents more opportunities for us. We get some quick little sell signals on some leading stocks, which then when they rebound, we can jump back in on that. So, and
Right.
if it just continues to run, I'm very well positioned for further upside action. So either way, it seems like a win-win for me. So I'm really excited to see what happes tomorrow.
Yeah, no kidding. Congrats on the win-win. That's always a good position to be in when you're looking forward and going, I like this. This is nice.
Yeah, yeah, I'm doing all right. We're doing all right. Yep.
Well, coming up next, everybody, is our where we talk about our big movers of the day. All of these big movers did flash one of our algorithmic daily buy or sell signals in the past, and so now we're going to bring them to you and kind of talking about the charts a little bit. And if you want access to those daily buy and sell signals brought to you by our algorithm, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Empire Algorithmic Trading. So, Jace, that being said, who moved? Where'd they go?
Well, we had some good and bad as always, right? But
Yep.
today I'm going to
Yep.
flip it up a little bit. I want to start with the downside. Rocket Lab dropped about twelve and
Whoa.
a half percent. So, yeah, the company decided, hey, the stock's breaking out. It's at all-time highs. There's a lot of buyers in there. Let's add $750 million in equity to the market. So that's why the stock sold off, saw a 12.5%. Which is unfortunate, right? I was almost going to come out of that trade. I really defensively, I usually would have a round trip like that. I would have, but since it was news driven on this stock sale by the company, I decided, you know what? I'm going to see how this plays out. It's right at the 20-day moving averages, right above the VWAP. I'm going to give this a little bit of room, also because I've gotten kind of shaken out on just my really hard flat stops after I take my initial profits. So I'm just kind of going to give this one a little bit of room, but not a great look. But at the same time, in just 1 second, we're going to talk about a stock that had a similar situation a couple months ago. Orla Mining completely reversed from yesterday's
Wow.
massive run. I mean, it just gave it all right back up.
Yeah.
Now, I would probably, if I did have this, which I didn't, and it came right back, but I would probably be selling that. That's not what you want to see. That's not how breakouts work. Hard reversals like that, not a good look. And then Cormex, we talked about before. This one sold off hard today, down 8.3%. This one
Wow.
round tripped, but it round tripped in a hurry. It was a different kind of a round trip, right? It was right, and it was actually, this is a really good looking run right here, right?
Yeah, no
Even on
kidding.
this day where it hits the 10-day moving average, rallies up off its low, you're thinking, all right, that's cool. And then it breaks the 20-day or 10-day moving average. Big spike in volume. So okay, that's pretty bad. But then it just does that. Just 3 days back down in a row, right back below the VWAP, completely round trips, and then it just continues to sell off. So
Ouch.
tried rallying a couple of times, but just found resistance at the moving averages, and then just sold off hard, 8.3% today. So anything that that looks like that, right? Anything that you have a breakout that's doing this, and then it does that to you, it's probably a good idea to just step aside because, like I said, you can always buy it back. The last thing you want to do is run a nice gain into a pretty ugly loss. Now, on the plus side, we've got Bloom Energy, and this stock is just
Whoa.
on a tear. This one
Yeah.
has the first buy signal is down here at 24. I first bought it at 24.40. Excuse me. The 24.36 was the first buy signal. It's at 73.29. So
Whoa.
very nice. This one's been a pretty easy hold. I bought it. Actually, I shouldn't say that. This was a stressful hold, kind of right here. I bought it here, sold some here, and sold a little bit more on this break, and just held it. And then by the time it's down here and it flashes a sell signal, I'm thinking, God, I'm just an idiot, right? Like, why didn't I sell more of it up here? And I totally mismanaged this. And then it kind of shows some life, and then off to the races we go. So here I go from, man, I didn't handle that so well to, see, I'm pretty freaking smart, you know? So it's not like that at all. It's just, better lucky than good. But it's kind of funny that how that worked. And then it's just been off to the races. So
Wow.
I still have, I basically have a risk-free position. I think it's about 175%, 178% from the original buy price. Amplitech Group up 5.3%. This one was setting up very good. I actually put an order in for it today. It didn't fill. Which is weird because it traded at my bid price, but must not have actually hit that. But anyhow, that's a nice 5.3% gain. This is a shakeout breakout. I bought back in at 369. It's currently at 436. VSE Core up a solid 4.1%. I kind of flagged this here. I like flagging some of these different patterns I'm not quite used to. So kind of put a little rectangle around that so you can see how this plays out for future reference. I was thinking this one was extended, not going to lie. I mean, you zoom this out, that looks like it's pretty well out there. So we'll see if this can hold, but that's a really nice follow through, a good clean breakout after the buy signal right here at 167.36. It's currently at 172.39. And then side time. The reason why this one is last is one, that's a beautiful looking high right there. But also this day right here, this is also the reason why I'm holding Rocket Lab, is because side time shook me out right here because they announced they were selling several hundred million dollars worth of stock as well. As you can see, it was dead money for a while, and it was looking pretty ugly here. But it found support at the bottom, at the bases, bottoms, VWAP, and then it's just been on a wicked tear. Flashed another buy signal down here around 227. Shook me out again when it broke the 20-day, and it's just been that just seems to be the point to buy, not to sell, is when it's breaking that 20-day. So very strong look from side time, up 3.39%. But all in all eyes tomorrow are on the Fed. We'll see. We'll see what happens with what they say. I mean, like we said, it's pretty much baked in the cake. Powell pretty much said as much when he gave his speech that they're looking at cutting rates to protect growth, especially with the weak job numbers that we've had lately. So it's just where is their neutral interest rate going to be? So that's what's going to drive the market tomorrow, and I'm excited to see which way it goes. I'm hoping it goes up, obviously.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
regardless, it's going to be a good day.
It's going to be interesting as heck to see what happens, like you said, and how people respond to it as well. So,
Yep.
yeah, some big things coming down the pipeline, which is a lot of fun. And that is it for us here at Empire Algorithmic Daily VWAP Vision Stock Talk. Appreciate you being here, listening on Spotify, watching on YouTube. Make sure to hit the like, subscribe button, and please rate and review us. Help us bump up in those ratings. If you want to follow us on all of our social media where you digest your daily trading information, we are on Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, X, anywhere that you consume, we are. So make sure to find us out and follow us there. If you want more information on who we are, what we do, check out our website, VWAPvision.com. That's VWAPvision.com. And finally, for all the goodies, all the extras, everything we don't talk about in our videos, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Empire Algorithmic Trading, where you get access to our algorithmic buy and sell signals daily, along with Jason and I breaking down our arrow reviews, where we talk about the stocks tomorrow to watch that could potentially either break out or fail and are flashing all of the right signals for either or. Also, we have just a cool group of traders there and some educational videos where we talk about how we use these strategies in our trading. So, yeah, check that out. Patreon.com/Empire Algorithmic Trading. And until arrow review, Jace, happy trading, buddy.
Happy trading, buddy. We'll see you in a little bit.
See ya.